Let me ask you something real, and I want you to answer this, not for me, but for yourself. How many days, weeks, months have you told yourself, tomorrow I'll start? You know what I'm talking about. That quiet guilt, that ache in your chest when you watch time pass, knowing deep down you're capable of more, but still doing less. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's not that you're broken. You're stuck in a cycle. And today we're going to break it. This isn't another productivity pep talk filled with fluff. What I'm about to give you are 6 real, tested, no BS steps that actually work, not just for people who already have their lives together, but for people like I once was. People who feel stuck, unmotivated, exhausted, maybe even ashamed. I was there. I know how it feels, but I also know this: you're not lazy or powerful. You're just running the wrong script. And today we write it, one step at a time. Stay with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you won't just know how to be productive, you'll feel it in your bones. You'll own it. You see, people think laziness is the enemy. They say, I'm just lazy. I need more discipline. I need more motivation. No, you don't. Laziness isn't the real problem, it's just a symptom. The real issue is identity, the way you see yourself. Because if deep down you believe you're the kind of person who never follows through, who always procrastinates, then no matter how many productivity hacks you try, your subconscious will drag you back to your old behavior. Every single time. This is why willpower fails. You're trying to act like a person while still seeing yourself as someone who can't be consistent. That's like trying to sprint with a parachute strapped to your back. You might move for a while, but you're fighting your own identity the entire way. And eventually, that identity wins. So how do you change it? You don't wait for some lightning bolt of transformation. You start small. You make a move, not a big one, just enough to challenge the old story. If your brain says you never finish anything, then finish something, no matter how small. One workout, one focused hour, one hard conversation. And then you say to yourself, that's not something a lazy person does. That's something a disciplined person does. That's who I am now. This is the beginning of an identity shift. And when your identity changes, everything else follows. Your habits change. Your energy changes. Your decisions become automatic because they're aligned with who you believe you are. Think about it. If you truly saw yourself as someone who takes care of their body, you wouldn't have to fight yourself to go to the gym. It would just feel right. That's the power of identity. It doesn't just influence what you do, it determines what feels normal, what feels natural, and what feels non-negotiable. So before we even get into the strategies, you need to hear this loud and clear. You are not lazy. You've just been living under an outdated story, and starting right now, you get to write a new one. Because once your identity shifts, your actions catch up fast. Now let's talk about the fuel behind all of this energy. You can have the best mindset, the clearest goals, even a killer plan. But if your energy is drained, your body is sluggish, your mind is foggy, you're done before you start. You can't build momentum on an empty tank. People think productivity starts with strategy, but it really starts with state. How you feel in your body, how you carry your breath, the energy you bring into the moment, that is the switch. Now think about it. Ever have a day where you felt unstoppable? Maybe nothing changed externally, but inside you were in flow. You were focused. You had energy pulsing through you. That's not luck, that's state, and it can be built on demand. You don't have to wait to feel motivated. You create it. The first way, move your body. Simple. I don't care if it's a walk, a few jumping jacks, or a full workout. Your physiology drives your psychology. When your body's energized, your brain lights up. You want to kill procrastination. Change your state before you sit down to work. Don't drag yourself into a task half asleep and then judge yourself for not performing. Prime your system. Activate your nervous system. You're not a machine, you're a human being. Energy is everything. And the second piece, cut the drains. I'm talking about sleep deprivation, sugar crashes, scrolling your phone for 45 minutes before doing anything meaningful. You want more discipline. Get more rest. You want more clarity? Clean up your inputs, what you eat, what you watch, who you listen to. You can't expect peak performance from a system you're poisoning daily with junk, mental, and physical. And look, I'm not saying you need to be a monk. I'm saying you need to start noticing. Notice what gives you life and what steals it. Notice when your state shifts and take control. Because when your energy is up, everything feels lighter. That task you were avoiding suddenly feels doable. That phone call you were dreading doesn't feel so heavy. You're no longer forcing it, you're flowing. So don't chase productivity. Build the energy that makes it inevitable. Let me tell you something that will change the game. You do not need to feel motivated to take action. You've been sold this lie that you need to want it first, that you've got to feel inspired, jacked up, or totally clear before you move. That's wrong. Motivation is a byproduct of momentum, not the other way around. Think about a train sitting still on the tracks. You could place a small block in front of the wheels and it won't move. But get that train moving at 50 miles an hour and it'll smash through a brick wall. That's you. When you're stuck, everything feels impossible. But once you start rolling, even slowly, everything begins to shift. Your confidence goes up, your mind sharpens, your energy increases. Suddenly you're not asking, can I do this? You're doing it. So how do you create momentum when you don't feel like it? You shrink the target. You stop trying to conquer the whole mountain and just take the next step. 5 minutes. That's it. Just 5 focused minutes on the thing you've been putting off. You tell yourself, I'm not going to do the whole thing, I'm just going to start. Because once you start, something wakes up in you. You start to want to keep going. That's motion. That's forward energy. And it's contagious to the rest of your life. This is where most people get stuck. They wait. They wait for motivation like it's a gift that just shows up. But here's the truth. If you sit around waiting to feel ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision. It's you saying, I'm moving anyway. Start where you are. Don't overthink it. Don't overplan it. Get out of your head and into action. Because once you're in motion, everything changes. The task stops feeling so heavy. You stop carrying the guilt. You begin to trust yourself again. And that's where power lies, not in perfect execution, but in the courage to start messy and keep going. Because momentum doesn't come to the most talented, it comes to the ones who are willing to move. Here's the truth, willpower alone will never carry you across the finish line. You can grit your teeth and push hard for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, but if you're relying on discipline alone, you're going to burn out. Because discipline isn't about forcing yourself every day, it's about designing systems that make success automatic. People who seem effortlessly productive aren't stronger than you. They're not superhuman. They've just built an environment that supports their goals instead of working against them. That's what I mean by systems. Systems remove friction. They reduce the number of decisions you have to make. And the fewer decisions, the less resistance. That means more energy for what actually matters. Let me give you an example. If you wake up every morning and have to decide whether to work out, whether to journal, whether to eat clean, you're already behind. But if your gym clothes are laid out, your playlist is ready, your meals are prepped, and your phone is on Do Not Disturb by default, you don't have to think. You just follow the system. This isn't about perfection, it's about creating alignment. It's about setting up your environment so it pulls you toward the version of yourself you want to become. You want to stop scrolling in bed for an hour every night. Don't just try to be better. Put your phone in another room. That's a system. You want to stay consistent with your work. Schedule it, automate reminders, and have an accountability partner check in. That's a system. And here's the beautiful part, once your system is in place, productivity stops feeling like a grind. It becomes your new normal. And when things get tough, when your motivation dips or life gets messy, the system keeps you on track. It catches you. Because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if you want to be consistent, if you want to stop starting over every few weeks, stop trying to will your way through it. Build the foundation once and let the system carry you the rest of the way.